First off, I just want to say hi. We are back again. I know it's been a couple months since we've really done a whole lot. The reason behind that is we haven't really had a venue. We used Brad's restaurant a couple times, so I want to give Brad a shout out as always. Thank you for that. Early riser guys, check him out. We've also been doing a couple episodes at a friend's. We used his backyard. Unfortunately, he ripped the deck out, so we kind of haven't had something to work with. But no excuses. We're going to try something new to get started. We're going to use my own kitchen. A lot of people have messaged me, why not try one at home? So here we are. We're in my personal kitchen at home, which we just renoed. So that's all done as well. So I thought because we're doing it inside, we're going to do a little fancier meal. But because it's fancy doesn't mean it's difficult. So we're going to show you how to replicate that in your own kitchen at home. So stay tuned, guys. Here we go. All right. So in the home kitchen here, we're going to prepare a nice little meal for dinner. It doesn't take too long. So like I said, kind of a fancier thing because we're not outside for once or we're not in a nice kitchen or something, but we're going to try it out. What we're going to do is a beautiful steak. We're going to cook it on the frying pan, which we haven't done yet before. We're going to do some glazed carrots with that, and we're going to do a sweet potato mash. So the first thing we're going to cook is the sweet potatoes, guys. Sweet potatoes are going to take the longest, so we're going to start them off first. So I've got 4 large potatoes here. I already gave them a thorough rinse in the sink. I'm going to leave the skins on. So what we're going to do is we're going to just cut them into equal size chunks, and we're going to get them boiling. So sweet potatoes, the reason we're using these guys is they are freaking full of protein and full of flavors. So we're going to start cutting these up. Sweet potatoes are a little harder, so you want to use a very nice knife. I've got this big boy here. You got any ends like that, we're not going to use those, discard them. Any kind of spots like that, you can kind of trim them off. I like leaving the skins on. There's a lot of flavor in the skins, and when we kind of mash it all up, you're going to see it's going to add to it. So get rid of the ends. There we go. Be careful too, guys. Sweet potatoes, like I said, they are very strong and kind of harder to cut. So this one's larger, so I'm going to cut him in half first, and I'm going to cut him this way. There we go. There we go. Okay. So kind of equal size, so they all boil at the same time. Add them to the pot here. Okay. I probably got more than I need, but that's okay. A sharp knife is your best friend. So it's kind of cool cooking inside. I haven't really, there's another one of those ends. Sorry, I get it. I haven't really cooked inside in the new kitchen yet, so I thought, why not try it out on the show as well? Okay, so let's get these guys finished up. Sweet potatoes they're nice, guys. They're a little different. You know, sometimes you make the same mash using a Yukon Gold or a Russet or something. So I thought, why not? Let's change it up. And we're going to add some really big, bold flavors to this. And it's going to really kind of punch up a simple dish. But like I said, make it a little fancier. Okay, I'll finish up these last little bit and we'll get them to the stove. All right, so I've got the big pot boiling. Filled it about halfway with water. Very important, season. So we're going to salt this baby up. There we go. All right, now let's add our sweet potato slowly. If you want to dump them in, you can. Okay. Just a little bit. All right. I'm going to grab the lid for this. These are going to take probably about 15 to 20 minutes or so. We're going to poke them with a fork. Once they're fork tender, then we can mash them. So while these are boiling, we're going to start on the next step. Okay, we've got our sweet potatoes that are going. You can hear them boiling probably in the background. Next item in the dish, we're going to do a glazed carrot. So I've got some nice carrots here. We are going to boil them first for about 10 minutes right beside the sweet potatoes. Drain them, and then we're going to saute them in the frying pan with some nice butter, some brown sugar, really glaze them and make them really nice and sweet. So what I've done with these guys is I've trimmed off the greens, the ends. If you want to use baby carrots, you can use baby carrots. They're good too. And then I'm just going to kind of cut them into little manageable pieces. I kind of like the bigger ones just because they take the glaze on more. So I started with about 4 or 5. We'll get these guys in. We're going to get these over to the stove and get them boiling. Okay, so here's our pot for the carrots. That's going to season them up too. Get some salt. These are going to take about 10-15 minutes. All right, we got them here. Sorry, I got a one arm here. Oh, a little bit of a splash, no big deal. All right, these guys, we'll watch them 10 minutes or so. Good time to check our potatoes. You can see our sweet potatoes, they are boiling nice. The hot tub is going heavy. So we'll check on them in a few minutes too. We'll poke them with a fork and see how they're doing. So just remove the lid. I got a fork here. We're going to pierce a couple of these if we can get one. Going fishing a little bit. So yeah, they're very close. They've been at about 15 minutes. You can see the fork is just starting to kind of go through. We want these super soft because we're going to mash them. So they should be ready in the next, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes. We'll check them again. All right, so veggies are going. You're probably wondering what the heck we're doing. We're not making baby food. I know we've got sweet potatoes, we've got carrots boiling. Here we go. We've got the main course here. We've got this beautiful T-bone here. It's a little thinner cut T-bone, which is good because we're cooking it inside in the frying pan, so we can get away with that. So let's get this guy seasoned up. I've got some Worcestershire sauce. We're going to put that on first. I'm going to rub that in. That's going to kind of create a coating for the spices. So we're just going simple here, guys. It's a nice little marbled T-bone, so let's let that shine. Okay, and then we're going to just put some salt and some black pepper. So pretty basic seasoning, but it's going to work well. There's got some good flavors in here. It's a really marbled steak, which is nice. All right, so we're going to set him off to the side. We want him to get to room temperature right before we throw him on so it cooks evenly, just like barbecuing outside, same thing. So steak is ready to hit the frying pan. Let's finish off the veg first. By the time those are all done, this guy should be room temperature, and we'll fry him off. So let's check our sweet potatoes. Oh yeah, they've got some good push, nice and soft. So I'm going to drain these in a colander, add them back to here, and we'll start adding some other things and mash them up. So bear with me. I'm going to just drain them over the sink, just in using a regular pasta colander, guys. Dump them in, and we should be good. All right, I just drained the sweet potatoes. You can see they're getting nice and mushy. So we're going to add some ingredients now. It's going to be difficult. I got one arm filming, one arm adding, so we'll find a way. This is new to me too. So I've got some butter here. I want to get the butter in while everything's hot. Get that incorporated. Okay. On top of that, we are going to add some cream. You can use half and half. If you want to use milk, that's fine. You just got to add some dairy just to kind of make things a little richer. So, very important. We got to salt again. Sorry guys, hard to film and do this. There we go. Some pepper. Okay. Now, told you we were going to add a couple different things. So, we've got to add some garlic powder. If you wanted to, you could add some roasted garlic too. That'd be really good. But I like, because the sweet potatoes have that natural sweetness, I think a great ingredient to add is some chipotle powder or some hot paprika, just to add a little bit of heat. You'll notice it just in the background. It's a really, really great ingredient. You get that sweetness from the sweet potato, and at the very end, that punch of heat, and it just balances perfectly. So I'm going to give this a quick stir, and then I'm going to get the masher out, and we're going to mash it, and this should be ready to go. So let me just get the red spoon going here. So incorporate everything. You want to melt it. You can see it's already going to start to kind of mush. We want it nice and creamy. We added that dairy. That's going to help for that. I can actually smell that chipotle and that garlic and all those nice flavors kind of marrying. So you can see here. All right. With that. Now I'm going to get the big boy out. Because we have the skin, we're going to start mashing. Okay. Mix and mash, guys. We're doing the monster mash, but it's the potato mash. So get all those nice and squished. The skins, though, like I said, we left the skins on, so that's why you can get away with using this masher, because you're going to get that flavor from the skin, too. So these are looking really good. If you wanted to, you could whip them up, too. All right. So I'm going to keep doing this, and I'll show you when we plate it all up. The carrots, we got to drain those. It's been about 10 minutes for them, so we'll get them next. All right, the carrots have been going for about 10 minutes. Same idea. They've softened up a bit. We're going to finish them in the frying pan with the butter and brown sugar and get a nice glaze on them. I left them in big chunks, guys. Like I said, cut these any way you like. I like the big pieces. You can slice them, and it's a really hearty meal in the end. So let's get these guys drained, and we'll add them to the frying pan. All right, we're going to use this big frying pan. This is actually the frying pan we're going to use for the steak too. I'm going to clean it out after though. I absolutely love this rock frying pan. It's non-stick. We're going to add some butter, get that started to melt. So I've got about half a cup of butter here. It sounds like a lot, but those are big chunks of carrots. So you can see those are slowly dissolving. Okay, now I'm going to add about the same amount in brown sugar. Okay, let that brown sugar kind of melt first. Don't stir it right away. When you stir sugar, it will burn. So just let it slowly dissolve. I'm going to just keep the butter going. Once this kind of forms a caramel, we're going to toss in the carrots, and they're going to be really, really glazed, and they're going to be awesome. So we'll let this thing do its thing. I'm slowly going to melt it. Yep. All right, awesome. Everything's looking good. All right, as you can see, the brown sugar has melted. The butter's melted. It's time to add the carrots. A little bit of a mess, that's okay. All right, now, key here, I'm going to toss everything in these. Get everything nice and incorporated, coated. You can see it's already taken on that caramel. I'm going to let these kind of cook for 5 to 7 minutes until they get nicely coated and sticky. You can see that. The brown sugar looks great. Everyone knows the difference between brown sugar and white sugar. If you don't, brown sugar has molasses, guys, so that's the difference there. So you can hear it. Keep the heat on low so we don't have anything burning. We don't want that sugar to burn or that butter to burn. Give it a couple shakes. Oh yeah, looking great. Okay, we'll show you the finished product of these. So it's been about 5-7 minutes. You can see our brown sugar is turning into a caramel. Look at the shine on these carrots. How good do they look? Very important though, guys. We want to make sure we season a little bit. Just a little bit of salt and pepper. And we're going to finish the dish once we plate it with some nice parsley just for some colors. All right, let's fire off this steak. So we seasoned it earlier. It's at room temperature. Now I've got the rock frying pan here. I just put a touch of oil, which doesn't hurt. You can hear it. I've got the flame going. The oil's kind of shimmering. So this steak is going to take probably 2 minutes aside. It's a very thin steak, but doesn't mean it won't have flavor. So I'm going to grab it here. Always place it away from you. And we want to hear that noise. Boom, there it is. All right, now leave it alone for a couple minutes. If you can't count 2 minutes, look at your oven. 440. So we're not going to touch this guy till 442. So let it do its thing. If you're worried about splatter, we can put a lid on it. But again, it's a smaller steak. Won't take too long. Alrighty, 442. You see that? Perfect. So we're going to give him a flip away from us. Same thing. Look at that. We've got some nice crust. All right. Again, 2 more minutes. Keep an eye on that clock. Let it do its thing. All right. It's been another 2 minutes. This guy should be good to go. We're shooting for medium rare. There's that other crust. So we're going to take him off and let it rest. Okay, we're going to leave this guy alone for a couple minutes. Remember, it's going to continue to cook with the residual heat. So there we go. Leave it alone. Don't touch it for a few minutes, and it's ready to eat. All right, we've got the sweet potatoes, the carrots. We're going to do the steak. We need a little green on the plate, so I've got some fresh lettuce here just out of the garden. I'm going to just make a simple, European-style dressing. We just add a little bit of oil. Okay. And I've got some beautiful red wine vinegar, so I'm going to add a little bit of that. Nothing too crazy. Just a few drops. And a little bit of salt. And that's it. Give that a quick mix. All right. And we will get that guy in a bowl to accompany the meal. Perfect. Nice, fresh, a little bit of green. It'll really complement the meal. Here we go. Our finished meal. All plated up and ready to go. We are serving it with a nice Cab Sav red wine because we wanted to go a little classier. This is about as fancy as we can get for home cooking, but hey, why not? Turned out great. Our steak is perfectly rested, exactly how we like it. We've got our sweet potato mash that we added a little heat to. You can see our glazed carrots. I finished them with a little parsley. You can see that brown sugar. It looks great. They're nice and glazed. And our simple little salad, just for something green on the plate. But overall, guys, this looks great. I can't wait to dig into this meal. We'll show you how it is. All right, we're going to dive into this, try everything out. I feel like Kevin McAllister there, end of Home Alone, but hey, here we go. First thing we got to try is that steak. We rested it. Look at that. I know it's hard to see, but it's perfect. Medium rare. Beautiful. Simple seasoning. Let's get into this sweet potato mash. That's nice. Like I said, there's a little bit of sweetness, and then boom, at the very end, you get that chipotle and that little bit of heat. Biggest thing with these, clean them up a little bit. If you want to peel the skins off, you can, but hey, the skin's all the flavor. Boil them 15-20 minutes, fork tender, add your dairy, you're good to go. Carrots, I like cutting them a little thicker, bigger pieces. You can cut them with a knife and fork if you want to look really classy, but that's up to you. The brown sugar, butter, complete sweetness, absolutely beautiful. And just a simple salad, a little bit of vinegar, the red wine vinegar. That's all you need. Thank you for watching, guys, as always. And remember, where there's smoke, there's flavor.